On today's show of Love, Lust, and Lies, we're going to talk about why some women can't keep a man. Now, I want to start this conversation with the idea that that there are no absolutes. There are no absolutes. There are a multitude of reasons why relationships don't work. But from a man's perspective and a coach's perspective, I would like to offer my 2 cents. And my 2 cents would just simply be my 2 cents. So I got the 8 reasons why some women can't keep a man or cannot get a man. All right. And if you fall into this category, all right, I want you to have a moment of honesty, and I want you to let me know what you think. So I'm going to give you the reasons that I, as a coach and man, understand why women can't keep a man. Because men, they may not ever tell you what's going on, the reason he ghosted or the reason he walked away. And a lot of times women think it's one reason, but it's not. And so I want you to take an active look or reflect on some relationships that didn't work for you. All right, so let's get started. Number one, these are not in any particular order, but I just wrote the number 8 reasons. Number one, the reason why they can't keep a man or get a man is they aren't healed. They are not healed from a previous relationship. A lot of times you've heard that old adage, if you want to get over someone, get under someone else. Well, that's not, a lot of people do that. They call them rebounds. But the problem with that is that doesn't work. That doesn't work emotionally. Because if you're emotionally tied to someone else, then you have to disconnect before you can get emotionally tied to someone else. So here's the problem with that. What we want to do is soothe our pain. We want to ease our pain. So what we'll do is we'll get over under somebody else and we'll start trying to connect with someone else, maybe on a physical level, but the emotional connection is there. So number one is you're not healed from your relationship. I always tell people, listen, you gotta get healed. You gotta get to a point where what the other person does not affect you. You have to get to a point where you're not concerned with what they're doing, who they're dating, anything that's going on. If you are still concerned with that, you're not ready for another relationship. But people get in a relationship in those particular things. They get in those particular relationships, but they're not ready for them, but they get in them all the time. And then the relationship can never work. It can never work. I know somebody right now who is in love with someone else. They're in a relationship where the man loves them dearly, loves them with all their heart, but they can't connect. They say, I really like the guy, I really like him. But then when I broke it down, I said, the truth is, this is everything you've ever asked for. Somebody that'll love your dirty bath water, who will give you everything that you've ever wanted, who will answer at your beck and call. No, he's not perfect, but he's perfect for you. But the problem is you're in love with someone else and you can't connect. And she looked at me like, dang. I know, but that's number one. Number two, women, is they won't give themselves permission to trust again. The reason why they can't keep a man or they can't get a man is because they won't give themselves permission to trust again. Listen, y'all, all of us have been hurt in some form or another. And I don't know why women think that they have the exclusivity or exclusive right or privilege, or they're the only ones who've ever been hurt. The truth is that men get hurt too. We just hide it. We just suppress it. We just don't deal with it well. and you go throughout your relationship, you won't give yourself permission to trust again. And so everything you're looking for the sign, you're looking for the reason not to trust. You're looking for the reason not to trust. And so that's it. That's what you need to do. And so what I'm saying is, and one of my students, I told her this, I said, nobody can help you trust you. Only you can give yourself permission to trust again. And if you can't trust, if you don't give yourself permission, you will never trust. I don't care if the man is perfect. If he does everything for you, if everything you asked for, anything you asked for, you got it. You know how many times some of us are asking God, send me the man that's going to love me. And then he comes. But you won't give yourself permission to trust. One girl, that was my client. I ain't going to mention her name here. I wish I could, but I won't. But I told her, I said, listen, I said, the truth is, when we go through all this healing, we deal with all this stuff. We dealt with all the stuff that's underneath. And I said, now that you've dealt with that, you have to give yourself permission to trust again. It's just like give yourself permission to ride in a car again after an accident. It's like giving yourself permission again to ride on a bike. The kids give themselves permission to ride on a bike again after they fall off. And the very thing that you desire, you have to trust to get it. And ain't that crazy how God works? The thing that you want, you have to trust to get it. It's crazy. And it's like we want things, like the person who wants to make money have to use money to get it. Ain't that crazy? And so that's the way God made it, so that we would grow in the process. All right? Number three, reason why they don't have a man is because of emasculation of men. Listen to me carefully. See, a lot of women, they say things like, I'm Miss Independent, I'm making my money, I'm doing my own thing, I don't need a man. And what they're doing essentially is they are creating resistance in their life. Resistance is one of the things I always talk about, the law of attraction. And what we do is we want to attract something in our life, but we create resistance so the thing that we want won't come to us. All right? And so I say, when you say, I don't need a man, or I'm Miss Independent, or you begin to use that to emasculate men because you make money. So I've seen in relationships a lot of time, a woman will, because she's a boss on her job, and she's had to acquire this masculine energy. And this masculine energy, y'all, and there's nothing wrong with being a boss. The problem comes when they don't know how to balance the energy. See, what a man loves about a woman is the feminine energy, because it is the opposite of his energy. Now, the truth is, a man has masculine energy and feminine energy. A woman has masculine energy and feminine energy. But the problem is when the energy is off balance. When your masculine energy is off balance, it comes across to men like you're masculine. And what I would say is, you have to embrace the feminine energy, but you don't want to, because you're like, ain't nobody gonna hurt me again. I'm a boss. I don't need your money. I don't need your money. I don't need any of those things that you have. I don't need a man. And you have been trained, conditioned to let this masculine energy be your dominant energy. If a man wanted to be with himself, he'd be with another man. If he wanted to be with the masculine energy, he'd be with another man. And that's just the truth. And women don't see it that way. They just say, you know what? I ain't gonna put up with this. I'm a man. I'm Miss Independent. I don't need that. But that's why you're not with a man. Number 4, the reason you don't have a man, neediness. Neediness. Listen, a lot of women, if you get a man, he's showing you attention, but you look needy. I'm going to give you a piece of advice, y'all. I told this dude this one time, and he was blown away by it. And I said to him, I said, let me ask you a question. When is the best time to, because he was looking for a woman. I said, when is the best time to get a girlfriend? And he was like, I don't know. I said, the best time to get a girlfriend is when you got a girlfriend. He was like, okay. And I said, he's like, I said, you ever notice how when you got somebody, everybody want to come around? Everybody want to come around. They want to be around. Oh, you cute, whatever, whatever, whatever. But before, they didn't want to come around. You know what the difference is? The difference is this. The difference is when you don't need one, that's when they come. So here's what I say. I always say, stop being needy. All right? Stop acting like you need them. I'd like one in my life, but I don't need you. I need me to be fulfilled. And when you do that, because you're not needy, the other person wants you. It's just like, man, if you go out with a man and watch this, y'all, and you don't call him back, and you don't call him back, you like, he's wondering, what's the deal? He's wondering, why? He's wondering, because I don't really need you. Okay, if you want to be in my life, okay, we can kick it, but I'm not going to sweat you. That is attractive. It is attractive because men like to hunt. He's like, well, and then you stop trying to, you know what? Stop trying to look like you playing hard to get and be hard to get. And what I mean by that is stop being needy. Don't be needy. Stop being needy. I'm just kicking it. I'm just being real. That's the reason why. And y'all, it's a game. I can teach you how to play this game. People always say, well, I'm tired of playing games. Listen, dating is a game, no matter how you look at it. Because you're trying to determine some things. But you look at it as, well, the reason why they don't see it as a game, they don't want to see it as a game, because truth is you create fantasies about what it would be like. You know what? Think about it. You start liking a man, all of a sudden, well, I'm going to get to that one. I ain't going to get into that. That's on my list. Number five, you won't make room in your life for someone. See, here's the thing. I work all the time. You ever heard this? I work all the time. I'm with my kids. I don't have time for you. And when you say that, you will attract into your life, you will bring about what you think about. You will bring about what you talk about. If you say you don't have time, then you won't have time. So what I'm saying to you is make room in your life for the things that you want. I'll give you an example. There was a lady that I read about. Now, I don't know this lady. I'm not going to say that I do. But I read about this lady, right? And when I read about her, what she did was she said, my coach told me that the truth is you don't have room for a man in your life. And she said, wow, I looked at everything. She says, you notice what you do? When you come home, you park in the middle of your garage because you don't have room. You take up all the room in your closet. All of these things are symbolic, but what it is you don't have room. So the lady said, I started parking on the one side of the driveway. She said, in my closet, I put all of my clothes in one half, and I made one half of my closet available. She said, I stopped saying I don't have time. I started saying that I will make time for the things that matter in my life. And 1 year, 13 months later, she was married to the man of her dreams. And what we think is, if I keep saying I don't have time, I'm simply justifying my current situation. And so if I say I don't have time, then I don't have time. And then that's why I'm single. So I justify that why I'm not with somebody. And what it is we keep lying to ourselves. We keep saying things that are, in direct conflict with the things that we desire in life. And we've got to stop doing that, y'all. We've got to stop saying those things, y'all. And that's all I'm saying. We have to. All right, number 6. Ooh, why you don't have a man? Why you can't keep a man is because you don't communicate your expectations properly. See, you know what happens to a lot of women? They think about the things that they want the man to do. And they say things like, he should already know. We've been together. Or he should know to get me this. He should know to wash my car because the last guy I was with, I ain't never have to wash my car. Well, the problem with that is you're penalizing him for not being able to read your mind. It always fascinates me when I see somebody who has an expectation of another person, but never communicates that expectation properly, so the other person never ever really knows. They don't know what the person expects. So what happens is then they get mad at the person because the person doesn't know, instead of getting mad at themselves because they've never communicated it. I just can't get it. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa. What happens in many relationships? They break up because expectation don't equal results. And the reason expectation don't equal results many times is that they've never been communicated properly. And the truth is, many people out there who want to be in relationships don't know how to communicate. They've never been taught, and what they think is what they're doing is perfect because this is what they've always done. But it doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work. And if it's not working, see, we get so caught up in if something is good or bad. I tell my clients now, stop saying that. Stop focusing on good or bad, and let's focus on if it's working or not. Because good or bad is relative depending on the person you're talking to. So, what works for one relationship, another person might think that's a bad thing, but it might work for their relationships. And then when it doesn't work, it works for their relationship, but it might not work for your relationship. So it's not good or bad. Stop focusing on good or bad. Focus on, does it work? If it's working or if it's not. That's it. All right. And number 7, why you can't keep a man is because you're creating fantasies in your head and not focusing on reality. So I see this all the time, y'all. I see men, I see women a lot of times who you meet a guy and it's going well. And the guy is texting you, hey, sugar, how are you? I hope beautiful. I hope you're having a great day. And then all of a sudden, you get super duper excited. And you start creating a fantasy of what it would be like to be with this person. They make me feel good. We're going to be married. And y'all, you don't consciously say this, but you create the picture up here, okay? Without ever collecting enough data to find out if you can connect with the person. So what we do is we don't find out the things that we really need to find out. So we don't collect enough data to determine if we can connect with the person. Right? And that's what happens because you create these fantasies, and then the fantasies lead to emotion. I call it a flood of hormones. It's an emotional flood that hits your system. And when that emotional flood hits your system, all of a sudden you lose all consciousness. There are 2 sides of our brain, the logical side and the emotional side. What happens is when you create these fantasies cause you to look past you, then you bypass the collecting of the data that is necessary for you to make a decision to determine if we can connect. You feel like we can connect because the fantasy is created in your head. The fantasy, it makes you believe, it falsely makes you believe something that is not real. And then you only find out later on that it's not real. And the last thing, the reason why some women can't keep a man is because you blame everybody else, every other man or every other person for your plight instead of taking 100% responsibility. You blame someone else for your situation instead of taking responsibility. The truth is, y'all, you're not responsible for all your pain in life, but you are responsible for your healing. You have to take responsibility for things you do. You chose him. Take the responsibility that you picked him. He messed up. Yes, he messed up. He cheated on, but you picked him. It's you picked him. Take responsibility for that. Take responsibility for what you did in a relationship and learn from that. When you do that, now nobody becomes your victim. So you can never, there are no villains out there. All right? Did it work or did it not work? What did I learn from it so I can take to the next relationship? But people don't learn. They don't want to learn from it. They don't want to learn from it. They just want to continue to play the victim role, have the victim mentality. Now he's the villain. Now, when you ascribe that to your own mental situation, now you can never meet somebody who's going to love you for you because you're in resistance mode. You're in resistance mode. And as long as you're in resistance mode, you can't attract the man of your dreams. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm about to tell you something. There is a person on this live who's looking in. It's one of my students. Her life is changing right before my eyes. I ain't gonna call her name, but I will tell you this, y'all. When she released the resistance in her life, now she has just secured a job that's paying her just as much as the job she had left where there was so much resistance. Everything is happening in her life that is changing. She's manifesting the things that she's always wanted. Why? Because she was interested in doing one thing. Change your vibrational frequency. If you change the way you feel about what you see, I always say, if you change the way you see things, if you change what do I always say? If you change what you look, okay. All right. If you change the way you see things, you change what you see. All right. If you change the way you look at things, if I had a mental fart, if you change the way you look at things, you change what you see. And what happens is we have to be willing to change what we see, because the truth is this right here. We are 100% responsible for our own lives. Life is short, y'all. Stop blaming other people for your life. We all gonna have ups and downs. We all gonna have stuff that don't go right. We're all going to. But the truth is that's the way God made it. There are a lot of things in my life I didn't ask for. A lot of things in people's life they didn't ask for. I didn't want my daddy to die a couple of years ago because he was my best friend at the time. Yeah, but you know what? All right, he did. And so what I decided to do was I'm gonna take what I learned from him and go empower the world. Now his legacy means something. So there are things, y'all, that, yeah, you didn't ask for cancer. You didn't ask for this. You didn't ask for him to break up with you. But the truth of the matter is, it's a part of our process. It's a part of the way God made it so we could grow. Y'all, the truth is, relationships are about two things: healing and growing. Healing and growing. If you ain't doing either one of them, then the relationship ceased to do what it was designed to do. Period. That's it, y'all. That's it. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But here's what we do know. We got today, because the day is the present. Have a great day. And remember, every journey starts with one step. Take yours today. I'm Ken Canion, the host of Love, Lust, and Lies. I'm out. Peace.